What happens when a rapper believes he has just signed the biggest deal of his life, only to realize he may have signed away his freedom? What if the contract isn't just paperwork, but a golden cage? And what if the very people you expect to protect your career have already designed the system that controls it?
Hurt me the most, I'm dealing with motherfuckers who they daddy worth $300-something million, bro. My mama and dad ain't never been worth $10,000.
In September 2022, Finesse2Tymes stood at a pivotal moment. Fresh momentum, street credibility, a second chance at mainstream relevance. At 33 years old, this wasn't early career experimentation, this was survival mode. When he signed with Mob Ties Entertainment under J. Prince Jr., the move appeared strategic. The Prince name in hip-hop carries gravity, Rap-A-Lot's legacy, decades of influence, deep industry alliances. To many observers, this wasn't just a deal, it was protection, infrastructure, power. But power always comes with structure, and structure always comes with terms. When reported details of the agreement surfaced, the tone around the deal shifted. The revenue split allegedly granted 35% to Finesse, 35% to Mob Ties, and 30% to J. Prince Entertainment. On paper, that may look like partnership. In practice, it means 65% of the revenue flowed to the Prince side of the operation. If a project generated $2 million in total revenue, the artist's share, before expenses, recoupment, management, and taxes, would sit at $700,000, while $1.3 million would remain within the label structure. And if an advance had been issued, industry norms dictate that it would be recouped from the artist's portion. The system secures the institution first, the artist earns after obligations are cleared. Legally binding, yes. Uncommon? Not necessarily, but the difference between legality and leverage is where tension begins.
You greedy You greedy You greedy
The agreement reportedly extended beyond music sales into a 360 structure: touring, merchandise, endorsements, appearances, digital revenue. That means income streams that artists once relied on for independence now fold back into the same percentage ecosystem. If a tour stop generates $15,000, if merchandise moves aggressively in a single weekend, if a brand partnership lands unexpectedly, the same structural math applies. Expansion of opportunity, but expansion of participation from the label. In theory, that's shared growth. In practice, it can feel like shared ownership of everything. Then there's time, the most expensive currency in entertainment. A 5-album commitment is not a short-term experiment. In today's climate, that can stretch across half a decade or more, depending on release timing and delivery clauses. If projects slow down, if strategic pauses occur, if internal decisions delay momentum, the artist remains bound while the clock keeps moving. In hip-hop, timing is oxygen. Without consistent releases, algorithms shift, audiences drift, relevance fades quietly. The emotional fracture became public when Finesse appeared on Instagram Live, visibly strained, asking to be released from the agreement. He referenced family, financial pressure, responsibility. At one point, he alluded to not having generational wealth behind him, a comment widely interpreted as a subtle acknowledgement of imbalance. It wasn't an outburst, it felt like exhaustion.
All you niggas who seek money, I never seek the money. I just wanted for me and my family to be comfortable. You niggas that made it about the money, Now, in order to be comfortable, I have to chase a bigger goal. Now I have to become 100 millionaire to be able to make my family comfortable. When it used to be, you ain't had to have number 5 or 10, 15 million. If that, to be comfortable. Now you bitch ass niggas that up the mother because you want to put bitches on $50,000 jet flights, $30,000 a night Airbnbs, nigga. Fuck you niggas. I don't like you niggas. I despise you bitches. I don't like you niggas.
The optics were stark, an artist appealing in real time, while bound by signatures made in confidence months earlier. Yet, any serious analysis must acknowledge the other side. The Prince legacy is not accidental. J. Prince Sr. built Rap-A-Lot Records during an era when Southern hip-hop struggled for national recognition. That foundation didn't emerge from naivety. It was built on negotiation, discipline, and calculated business moves. From that perspective, contracts are not emotional documents. They are agreements entered voluntarily. Signatures imply understanding. Structures imply intent. Public sympathy does not dissolve paperwork. And still, the streaming era complicates everything. 1 million streams sounds massive, but payout averages often land far lower than fans imagine. After distributor percentages, label splits, management fees, and taxation, the retained income can shrink rapidly. To achieve financial independence under a heavy split structure, volume must scale dramatically. It's a treadmill effect. More output, more exposure, more effort, just to maintain equilibrium. History suggests this tension is cyclical. Lil Wayne's legal standoff with Cash Money, Megan Thee Stallion's public dispute with 1501. Artists ascend, leverage increases, dissatisfaction surfaces, contracts are re-examined. The difference today is transparency. Social media amplifies conflict instantly. What used to unfold quietly in courtrooms now plays out in front of millions. The psychological cost is harder to quantify. Hip-hop moves quickly. Youth dominates headlines. At 33, an artist understands that windows close faster than they open. Watching peers accumulate visible wealth while navigating recoupment structures can erode morale. Performing independence while operating inside contractual dependence creates internal contradiction. That contradiction is rarely visible in music videos, but it exists behind the scenes. This is where historical voices become relevant. Freddie Fox, also known as Bumpy Knuckles, has spoken openly about the consequences of unfavorable industry agreements. His advice to younger artists has remained consistent for decades. Never rush a signature. Read every clause. Understand every percentage. Secure independent legal counsel. A deal can look like elevation in the moment and reveal itself as restriction years later. His warning wasn't dramatic, it was practical. Paperwork outlives excitement. The deeper issue is power concentration. Long-standing industry families and institutions possess relationships that extend beyond contracts, radio networks, promoters, executives, distribution channels. Challenging such systems publicly is never simple, but silence has its own cost. When artists feel constrained, platforms like Instagram become negotiation tools. Perception becomes leverage. So the central question remains, is this a harsh but standard business model, or does it reflect a deeper structural imbalance within music contracts? Independent distribution platforms exist. Ownership conversations are louder than ever, yet traditional 360 frameworks continue to dominate at higher levels. Why? Because opportunity arrives fast. Contracts are signed in moments of momentum. Regret, if it comes, arrives slowly. This story ultimately transcends one artist. It reflects the eternal tension between access and autonomy, between infrastructure and independence, between partnership and control. A 5-album obligation, a majority revenue structure, a 360 framework across all income streams, all potentially legal, all potentially strategic, but whether they feel fair depends entirely on where you sit in the equation. When an artist publicly asks to be released, it signals more than financial disagreement. It signals disillusionment. And that's when industry conversations grow darker. Because behind every platinum plaque is paperwork. Behind every headline deal is a structure that determines who truly benefits long-term. The music industry will always project shine. Luxury cars, sold-out arenas, viral success, but contracts do not shine. They bind, they define ceilings, they outline power. And sometimes, long after the applause fades, what remains isn't celebration, it's realization. So was Finesse strategically positioned within a powerful machine or strategically contained by it? Is this simply business at the highest level, or a reminder that ownership is the real currency in entertainment? One truth remains unchanged. Fine print does not disappear once the ink dries. And in this industry, the quietest battles are often fought on paper.